Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, my YouTube family. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Does It Still Slap? So my inspiration for this series is the fact that I'm hearing a lot of people talking about how they're on low buys or no buys this month or this year. All of the products that I have here I've gotten from my own collection. I've been trying them out again over the past week or two to see if they're still any good, if they're still good products or if they've been bypassed in the market by something better. But these are all products that had really great reviews, either on their own website or on Sephora's website. And we are going to talk a little bit about whether or not they're still good. So if you're on a no buy or a low buy, this episode's for you. All right, so if you're new here, hi, my name is Emily, and I am a beauty and makeup lover. I use it as a creative outlet, and I know a lot of you guys do too. So all in good fun. I'm just looking at some products I already have in my collection. I've retested them to see if they still are as good as I thought they were or not. And we have a guest judge today. Everybody welcome Bernie. Bernie's going to help tell us if these products still slap or not. So we are going to start off with a primer. This primer was all the rage. It was absolutely everywhere on YouTube. And what I'm talking about, of course, is the Benefit Professional. So this is the original version. I know they have a hydrating version now as well, but this is the original. This is actually a relatively new tube that I got in a BoxyCharm. And so that gave me the opportunity to try it out again. I didn't have it in my collection for quite some time because I found it to be too heavy on my skin. I didn't find it to do anything spectacular for my makeup. It didn't help the staying power. It did do some pore filling. I didn't find it broke me out too much, but if I used it too consistently, it did. So I tried it out again over the past week, and guess what? I feel the same way about it. So what do you say, Bernie? Nope, it doesn't slap. I'm sorry. I don't like this primer. I don't think it does amazing things for my pores. I think there's so many better primers out there. I know that some people don't wear primer. I do have to wear a primer because I am a nurse and I'm in a mask most of the day. I need something that's gripping, not just pore filling, and it did break me out. So I don't know if you can tell because I've got them pretty well covered, but I've got some friends here. I had some friends on my jawline, and I don't generally get breakouts, and this was the only new complexion product I tried that week. So no, it's a no-go for me on the Benefit Professional. I have not tried the hydrating version, so if the hydrating version is better, please let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll pick that up. But for me, for the Professional, it does not slap. All right, so the next category that we're going to get into is foundation. Now, spoiler alert, some of these foundations are still in my regular rotation, despite them being a little bit older. I love them. I've found great ways to work with them. So the very first one on the docket is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have it in the shade Soft Beige. So this foundation claims to be medium coverage. It claims to have decent staying power and no flashback. Back in the day when it first came out, it was everywhere. And of course the dewy version came out and that was also everywhere. So I tried it out again to see if I still felt the same way I did about it back when it was all the rage. And I do. I think this is a solid foundation from the drugstore. And I think it has decent staying power, but not great staying power. So if you're wearing a mask all day, you're going to want to either set this or use a really good setting spray, but it's not going to get you through a full day of wearing a mask. It will rub off. What do you think, Bernie? Yeah, we're going to say this one still slaps. So the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation is still a win for me. This one actually was not in my regular rotation anymore. I had to dig it out and find it, and I've left it on the top of my vanity, and I've been using it pretty frequently, and I do like it. The only issue that I have with this is that it smells like paint. Now, often when you have foundations that smell like paint, you're like, yes, this is just going to paint on my skin. It's going to eliminate all my flaws, and I'm going to be flawless for the day. Not so much. It also has a weird little applicator where it literally is like a paintbrush. It's like a paddle. I don't know if you can see this little paddle guy here. So you kind of have to painted on your skin. I don't mind that so much because I use a mixing palette, so I will just sort of scoop some and spread it out on my palette and then take it with my brush and apply it. But yeah, Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation still slaps. The next foundation that we have was and still is very, very popular, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This little guy right here, it's all we heard about last year. I have it in the shade 445. When I first tried this foundation, I did not like it. I found it to be very drying. I found it to look very cakey and accentuate all the pores in this area. I had a really hard time working with it. It is thin, but it doesn't apply like a thin foundation. I really struggled with making this look good on my sort of mature skin. And I actually found a secret weapon for this one. So it does affect the staying power a little bit, but my secret weapon with this one is actually the Fourth Ray Beauty Face Milks. So hear me out. So this is basically like a liquidy moisturizer serum hybrid. And it's pretty thin. But I found when I added this in with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation that it spread on my skin so much better. I think I needed that little bit of extra hydration. I just think it was too drying for my skin. And I don't have particularly dry skin. I actually have relatively normal skin with a little bit of an oily T-zone depending on the situation. Yeah, this is still an excellent, excellent foundation. It holds up under a mask. It is a great drugstore pick if you do need something long wear. It is full coverage. You can get it right to full coverage, but I find when I add the face milk, I can actually shear it out and get a beautiful medium. So this combination was the magic ticket for me. And what do you think, Bernie? Yes, yeah, Bernie agrees. Can't you see the excitement on his face? The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear slaps, but with a caveat. It needs a helper product if you don't have oily skin. I think you need a little bit of extra hydration or really hydrating primer under this to make it work. It is a great foundation with great staying power. The last foundation I have here is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. So it comes in a nice glass frosted bottle. I've got it in the shade 4 Neutral. This one is very full coverage. This is your full coverage gal. This is your, I'm going to an event and want to look like a plastic Barbie doll. And since we've been doing so much of that recently, this has kind of gotten lost in my collection. It got put to the back. I forgot I had it. When it is super, super full coverage, that is not my preference. I don't love full coverage foundations. I like something a little bit more medium. I don't want it to look like I'm wearing a ton of foundation. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And guess what? These two together are beautiful. It is what I'm wearing today. And I've been wearing it now, let's see, it is, so I've been wearing it for 10 hours. So it definitely has worn off a bit around my chin. I was doing a lot of computer work today, so I had my hand on my face, but it's held up pretty well. I don't feel like I'm too dewy. I'm a little glowy, but in a good way, not in a bad way. The first time I actually liked the look of this foundation on my skin right now, if I'm not looking for event or photography makeup, was this combination again. I tell ya, the Fourth Ray Beauty Face Milk, this stuff mixes really, really well with most of my foundations. And ever since I figured that out with the other one, I've been trying it with some of the other foundations I didn't love, and it has allowed me to love a lot more of what's already in my collection instead of searching for the Holy Grail foundation. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, does it still slap? Yes, yes it does. However, this shit is expensive. So it's not one that I'm going to recommend if you're on a low buy or a no buy. But if you already have it in your collection and you weren't sure how to wear it in a time when we're not going to events, we're not going to weddings or having to have the full coverage makeup, try mixing it with a more liquidy moisturizer and see if you can almost make your own tinted moisturizer or medium coverage foundation. And I'll tell you, you'll be able to use this bad boy up since you spent your hard-earned money on it. All right, moving on to a new category. I have one highlighter here for you today. And of course, we are talking about the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. Now mine is cracked, so I've got to be very careful. I'm going to press it back in here a little bit. And I have a mini, but here she is. And I'll do a little swatch on the back of my hand. So there is Champagne Pop. So it just glows a bit. It's a champagne gold highlighter that absolutely skyrocketed Becca onto the scene. I feel like they've sort of been recreating that ever since, that surge of success with Champagne Pop that they had when they collabed with Jacqueline. Does it still slap though? I don't know. It is still good highlighter. If you have it in your collection, it is still a good highlighter. But you know what? I feel like highlighter formulas have kind of evolved. It is, if you've got it in your collection, definitely use it up. But it's not my favorite. I find it definitely emphasizes my texture that's on my skin. It doesn't give me the look I'm going for. But if you're looking for a beaming highlighter and you've got Champagne Pop in your collection, you haven't whipped it out in a while, go ahead and use it and see if it's still your preference. But I feel like highlighters have come a long way. We've got great formulas now like Ofra, and we have all the new liquid highlighters that are on the market, and people are coming out with baked gelée formulas, and the technology that's gone into highlighters has evolved a bit since Champagne Pop. So I find that this almost isn't as refined as what we're seeing on the market nowadays. And I gotta say, I don't love it. I don't love it anymore as much as I used to. Now, it might just be because my skin is more mature now, and it's maybe not as mature skin friendly as it was when I was, a little bit younger. What do you think, Bernie? Yeah, nope. Becca Champagne Pop doesn't slap. All right, moving on to another cult favorite. Now, this one is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Now, currently in my collection, I just have this sort of little sample guy. And this is a clear brow gel with this cool little comb that you use to sweep through your brows to keep them in place for the whole day. It says for 24 hours. I can't say that I've ever tested that theory. I've never put my brows on and left them on for 24 hours. I've definitely done wear tests on other things, not 24 hours, but I don't think I've ever purposely tried the staying power of this brow gel. However, as I've brought it back out over the past couple of weeks, I gotta say, it will lock your brows in place. That being said, I have very fine brow hair, so I absolutely must spoolie through my brows after using this, because otherwise I will have crunchy brows. It's almost like it deposits too much product for how thin and fine my hair is. And if you have coarser hair, it might not be as big of a problem because less hair is getting in between the bristles of the brush. But with my very fine, like razor thin hair, I find too much product gets deposited and I have to spoolie through it. But those bad boys aren't going anywhere. This absolutely does what it says. It will lock your brows down. It will lock your style into place, whether you're soap browing or laminate browing it. Whatever style you are if you're trying to make Christmas trees with your eyebrows, this stuff will hold it in place. It's like hair gel, but a little bit thinner. And with the brush on there, it has got two different lengths on either side of the brush. This is a great product. And what do you think, Bernie? Yep, it absolutely still slaps. And another cult favorite product is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. I've got a mini here. As you can tell, I am a big fan of minis, especially with things like mascara. I have multiple mascaras on the go at a time, and I find if I have minis, I don't waste as much because, of course, after a certain amount of time, you chuck your mascaras, and having minis around is excellent. And I love the fact that more companies are offering minis because that gives us the opportunity to just buy the smaller size and use up all of our product and not have wasted money left in the tube, which is great. So I bought this mini recently to give it a try again because it was such a cult favorite mascara. And I have thoughts. So I don't remember what I felt about this back when it was all the rage. I don't remember at all. But this time around, I have to say, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. I find the brush, I'll show you the wand here. It's pretty big. It's not the biggest in the world. It's like L'Oreal Lash Paradise big. It doesn't pull as much product out of the tube as the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, which I like. I feel like I'm scraping less off of it. Definitely less product than Bad Gal Bang. But I found it to be really, really heavy on my lashes and drop my curl so fast. There's no way I could keep a curl with this. It definitely volumizes my lashes. And I got, you know, giant, big, gloppy lashes, but again, that probably has to do with how fine my hair is. I have teeny, tiny natural lashes that really don't do much for me on their own. They do need a lot of help. And unfortunately, I think this formula is just a touch too heavy for me. If you are looking for a good volumizing mascara, it still works. It's still a good one. I didn't find that it flaked on me. It didn't transfer too much. I didn't have raccoon eyes by the end of the day. So it was good in that way. What do you think, Bernie? So I'm going to say it's kind of a half slap. We are moving on to lips. So this is a product I didn't hear a whole heck of a lot about until this year. I know they brought out more shades this year, but I don't think it was new this year. I think it's been around for a while. It's definitely a cult favorite amongst the luxury beauty community, but this year is the time for this product to shine. Because we're wearing masks all the time and we haven't gotten much use out of our bullet lipsticks and maybe even most of our glosses because it just rubs off on the mask, we're looking for more long wear mask-proof lip products, and this claims to be just that. This is the, hold on, give me a moment with the name. The Chanel Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue. And there's a gloss side and a color side. And it looks a lot like the products you get at the drugstore where it's got the double-ended, but this is significantly different. So on the one side here, you've got the color with the doe foot. And the doe foot is just your standard size and shape. I don't find anything special about the doe foot. And on the other side, you have a brush tip applicator with a clear gloss. So the deal with this is that you apply the color and then you wait. You let it dry a bit to set down. And then once it is set down, I usually wait about 60 to 90 seconds. You put on the clear gloss and it is locked in for the day. This is supposed to be the ultimate long wear transfer proof lipstick product. And it absolutely is. There is no comparison. I have tried to find a product that compares to this at the drugstore, and I just can't. I just haven't been able to find a drugstore dual-ended liquid lipstick type long wear product to really stand up to the absolutely excellent performance of this. And I'll tell you, I try. I try and I try and I try, and you know why? Because this shit is so expensive. Now I got these with a gift card. I have two shades. This one is Intense Caramel and I believe the other one I have is Tender Beige. But in Canada, these things are $50 freaking dollars a piece. That's insane for a lipstick. But I had to try them and I got them on a gift card at the Bay and it was worth it. I'm glad I used my gift card for that. Am I going to go purchase another one for $50? Absolutely not. So I will continue my drugstore quest for a dupe for this product that lasts just as long, and I will report back when I find it. I do hear there is a new one on the market that is looking pretty promising, but we'll see. I'll have to test it out and test them together, and we shall see. It is what I'm wearing on my lips today, and I've had it on most of the day. The only thing I've had to do is reapply the gloss. So as soon as my lips feel a bit dry, I put some more gloss on and we are good to go again. This is magic. Lip magic. So it absolutely slaps. So the last item that we have on our agenda today, and of course one of the most popular still, and has been almost since its inception, is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. This product claims to lock your makeup in all night. It has A little bit of a scent. I don't find it too heavy. It's not like, you know, Huda Beauty face perfume, but it has a little bit of a scent. It claims to lock your makeup in, keep it set for 16 hours. Again, I've not tried it for 16 hours, but I used to routinely work 12-hour days, and I gotta say, I'm a bit against the grain on this one. I actually don't recommend this product for daily use. It definitely does the job. It locks it in, but I don't recommend it for daily use. And why? Because alcohol, denatured alcohol, is pretty high up on the ingredient list. That is not good to spray on your skin every day. By all means, whip it out and use it if you have it to set your look in place. If you know you're going to be wearing your mask all day and you don't use it on an everyday basis, absolutely, this product is outstanding. I don't find that it messes with the finish of my makeup too much. I don't find that it causes me to be shiny, but it doesn't leave me matte. It just sort of locks it all in. If that's what I'm looking for, I will absolutely reach for this product. But I am very, very careful not to use it too much because of the denatured alcohol in it. I find the older I get, the more sensitive my skin is to the alcohols that aren't considered hydrating alcohols. It actually will dehydrate my skin in a matter of hours. I do use it. I used it today, and it's kept everything in place pretty darn good. Just with just that little bit of wear off I've got on my chin, like I mentioned earlier, from having my, you know, well, on the computer. But absolutely, yes, this product still slaps. But be warned, it is not the best for your skin. There's lots of setting sprays out there on the market now that don't have the alcohol in them that do also lock your makeup into place. Milk makeup. This one absolutely does what it says, and it still slaps. All right, guys, those are the products I picked out from my existing collection today to talk about whether or not they are still any good. I think we did pretty well. There aren't any in here that I would say are absolute crap products. A couple of duds that are only duds because of my personal preference. I think if you're on a low buy or a no buy and you're looking at your collection and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like that product. I don't know if you like that product. Revisit it, use it again, figure out why you don't like that product, and see if there's a way that you can make it work, like I did with my foundations and mixing them with the face milk. And it's funny because the reason why I thought about that was because when I got the face milk, I wasn't sure what the hell to do with it. I was like, okay, well, I already have a moisturizer. I already have my sunscreen. I don't want to put another moisturizer on top of my sunscreen, although the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base is kind of like a moisturizer, and it is one of my favorite primers. So, but it wasn't quite moisturizing enough like that. I certainly wasn't going to use it as my nighttime moisturizer, so I wasn't sure what the hell to do with it. So I thought, I will try thinning out a foundation with it, and magic happened. I've got the coconut one, by the way. These come in a whole bunch of different formulations. They all have different properties. They actually do have skincare benefits. So if you're on the ColourPop website at the 4th Ray section and reading through the different types of face milk, you can find one with turmeric and avocado and acai and strawberry, and they all have different benefits to them. So this was just sort of a basic one. I urge every one of you to take a look at your collections, find a way to use the products that you have, and have yourself a successful low buy or no buy if that's what you're wanting to do. Other than that, that is it for me today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you liked hanging out with me and you haven't subscribed yet to join the family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you turn your notifications on to all so you are notified every time I upload. I wish you all a very happy day. Stay safe, be healthy, and wash your damn hands. Bye. Just like dropping stuff all over the place. I'm burping. Charlotte Tilbury airbrush. Oh my God, why can't I say airbrush? Airbrush.